Will Freeman was 36 years old, and he had never had a job in his life. Sometimes he thought about working. He looked through the job advertisements in newspapers, and wrote occasional letters to employers, but he was never invited to interviews. He didn't mind. He was okay as he was. He was a cool guy with a cool lifestyle. He read quite a lot. He saw films in the afternoons. He went running. He cooked nice meals for himself and his friends. When he got bored, he went to Rome or New York or Barcelona for a few days. Will didn't need to work for money, because in 1938 his father had written a very successful Christmas song. Many famous singers had made recordings of this song, and each time Will's father had received royalties. Since his death, the royalties had come to Will. So Will had become rich without having to work at all. He was happy with his life. He lived in a nice flat in London and drove a fast car. He liked women and had lots of girlfriends, but he never got too involved with them. He preferred to look at other people's lives from the outside, like watching TV. If a relationship with a woman became complicated, he ended it. He wanted to keep his life simple. In the evenings, Will usually went out with friends. These were guys who worked in music shops or belonged to the same sports clubs as Will, or who were part of the same pub quiz team. They weren't close friends, but they were good enough for a drink or a meal. The evenings were fine, but Will had a lot of free time during the day because all his friends were at work. So he filled the time with different half-hour activities: reading the paper, having a bath, tidying his flat, going to the shops, watching Countdown. Countdown was an afternoon TV quiz show, and it was his favorite program. Sometimes he wondered how his friends had time to work. How could a person work and have a bath on the same day? Will didn't like children. He wasn't interested in them, and he didn't want any responsibility for them. But his friends, John and Christine, had two. The second was a baby girl, born just a week before, and Will had been invited to see her.